5 ways women lose a good man. Number 1, cheating. There are some women who have been cheating on their husband, but they have never been caught. Others are not necessarily cheating physically, but they have emotional affairs. They are chatting with their ex or with a male colleague or with someone they were together in college or high school or a neighbor. And literally they're just flirting together. And you know what? They keep it platonic, not physical. But you know, when we start engaging with people, flirting with people and engaging in emotional affairs, we tend to drift towards the actual act. We tend to do it. And even if you don't do it literally, if your husband sees those zaps and emojis and texts, if your husband comes across your flirts with that man, he won't believe you're not sleeping with that guy. So whether you have been involved in extramarital affairs, whether you have been cheating and you've never been caught, or whether you're just flirting with a certain guy or certain man, I urge you today, please stop it. Once your man comes across it, chances are high you're gonna lose this family, you're gonna lose this man, you're gonna lose this marriage. Very few men are able to forgive a woman who is cheating on them. Very few men have the capacity and the skin to forgive a woman who is cheating on them. You know what? A woman was brought to Jesus. She was caught in adultery. Jesus forgave her. He didn't condemn her, but he warned her. Stop doing what you're doing or something worse will happen to you. You've got to stop committing adultery or something worse will happen to your marriage and eventually to you, to your children. You're going to destroy your life, your family, your reputation, your image, your family, just because of 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes of pleasure. It's not worth it. 5 ways women lose a good man. Number 2, selfishness. Let me tell you, lady, if it's always your needs and your way, never his needs, you won't go far with this guy. It's always about your hair, your clothes, your outfit, your career progress, your college, your job. You change jobs without consulting him, without considering your children or your family or your marriage. It's all about your people, your mother, your sister, your brother, your dad, your what. Nothing about this guy, nothing about his needs. You're not willing to compromise. You have to have your way. You have the last full stop in every debate, in every argument. You never meet him midway. You know what? We live together by compromising, by fighting in middle ground. It can't always be your way or the higher way. If you are selfish and you're never willing to accommodate his views, his needs, his priorities, his opinion, you're not willing to fight in middle ground, eventually you're going to exhaust his patience. Eventually, this guy will reach a point of no return and you're going to lose him. 5 ways through which women lose a good man. Number 3, you can't be corrected. He is always on the wrong. He says sorry, he apologizes on his knees, but you, it doesn't matter what you do, you can never say sorry. You cannot say forgive me. You cannot say I am remorseful. You are overly defensive. You don't want to be held accountable for your actions. When you're corrected, you throw in tantrums. You hide behind moods and emotional instability. You become manipulative in bed. You become manipulative emotionally. You stop talking to this guy. You serve in silence. That home becomes toxic because you can't be corrected. You are always on the right. You're Miss Right. You're Miss Know-It-All. Eventually, you will break the camel's back and it's gonna leave you stranded in the wilderness. 5 ways through which women lose a good man. Number 4, taking him for granted. You've been having a good guy. He's been treating you well. He's been earning for the family. He's been supportive. He helps with the chores, with the children, with the homework. He supports your holiday plans, vacations. He buys you outfits. He keeps on surprising you with good things. He celebrates your birthday, your wedding anniversary. He visits your parents with a good shopping. But after all this, you never appreciate him. You never say anything good about him. You never see anything good about him. You're always fighting. You are dismissing him. You disrespect him. You don't consult him on anything you do. You don't seek his opinion. You take him for granted. You don't even acknowledge his presence when he comes home. You take him for granted in the kitchen, in the sitting room, in the bedroom. Eventually, believe me, girl, that guy is gonna walk out on you. Change your ways. We are having almost 50% of marriages in the West ending up in divorce. You don't want to form another statistic simply because you're taking your gift for granted. You know what? Someone else will take what you're trashing and make a great family with that guy. You will be looking at him with another family, envious, jealous, feeling so bad for losing a gift God gave you because you couldn't nurture your gift. You couldn't appreciate your gift. Some women only recognize what they had when they lose it. I challenge you right now, learn to appreciate your man, to acknowledge him. Learn to lift him up, to praise him, to encourage him, to motivate him, to inspire him through this life. 5 ways through which women lose a good man. Number 5, poor communication. Listen, lady, no man can read your thoughts. Nobody knows the thoughts of a woman except God. Don't assume he knows what you're thinking. Assumptions are the termites of relationships. You've got to speak your mind, speak in low tones, and keep repeating over and over again. Men just don't hear the first time you say it. If you said you're going to go to the salon today, repeat it 3 times. Tell him 1 week in advance, repeat that morning, and just before you go, repeat again. I am going out to the salon. If you're meeting a gentleman for a business date, let him know you're meeting John or Peter or Paul for a business date. This is the discussion we are going to have, and this is where we are meeting. Let him know your whereabouts, what time, and what time you'll be back home. Let this guy get to know your plans. Let him know your thoughts. Trust me, the only thing a man can hear the very first time you mention is if you say, I slept with so-and-so. If you say you slept with another guy, he will hear the first time. But anything else you say, I'm going to the supermarket, I want to go and buy outfits, I want to visit my mother, the guy doesn't hear the first time. Repeat it and say it in low tone. Say it as though you're saying it for the first time. Don't get upset. He's not pretending. There is something in our brain that doesn't get things the first time. We need to hear it 2, 3, 4 times. Well, if this video makes sense, please let me know your thoughts. Give me a comment and share this video with other women. Let's save marriages. And kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos. I upload new videos every week. You don't want to miss out on my latest videos. I wish you the very best in your marriage. May the Lord God bless you and bless your husband, your children, and your marriage. Cheers.